much. The studio was almost ready, and I had a couple technical issues. But thank God we waited because I got my man in the house with me today. What's up, Dr. House?
What's up? What's up?
My man. I'm great, dude. I'm great. So fucking excited to do this with you today. Dude, how much have we been growing here?
Oh, the growth is just tremendous. I mean, every time I look at Telegram, it's like we get 20 more people.
It's incredible. It's incredible, and they're staying. They're staying too. I mean, and some of the questions have been awesome. Like the one dude, Lucky, he's always asking questions. You know, Lucky?
Oh yeah, yeah. Lucky, he's got a bunch of questions, but he's a smart dude. He's
Oh,
getting smarter.
he's sharp, man. He's sharp, and that's what's awesome about the house because people come in, we talk about tokens, they ask questions, and it's actually kind of cool because the guys are getting used to coming in and going. Normally these Telegram groups, you've been in a ton of them, right? I mean, what are they normally like?
Oh, just like awful.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I have a question about this other token. Like, no, only talk about our token. I mean, could you imagine if we were like that? We're going to be a DEX. So, I mean, we are a DEX. We're just almost built. But could you imagine going into another? Well, some of them are like that. You go in and say, hey, I have a question about this token, and nobody wants to help you for shit. You know it. You've been through it.
Oh yeah. If you ask about anything else, it's immediately, oh, FUD, bleh, get out of here.
Yeah. No, you can only talk about our token. And by the way, ours is the best, and it's going to moon, and it's going to, hey, man, if your token's good, your project's good, you don't have to sell it to me like that. Tell me about the other things that are on your decks, and it's kind of cool. That's what we're doing. I know we were talking earlier. I had a hell of a day, and I know you did too, and it was funny. We both said, I can't wait to get on the show today. Most people would consider this work.
Yeah, it's like work's getting in the way of what I really want to do. Real life. Yeah.
Which is what, goof around on Telegram all day with the boys.
Exactly.
Yeah, goof around with the boys and put a little makeup on and get on the show. But no, it's been fun, man. It's been a hell of a week watching watching it grow. I mean, I could shout out to a bunch of the boys. I mean, it's like the UN in that room now too. It's incredible.
Oh, I'm telling you, we've got every time zone I think on Earth represented. Maybe other than like Antarctica, but other than that,
you never know.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think we have to. Maybe we should do an earlier show too to get some of the other guys in.
Yeah, I'd be game with that.
Yeah, but I mean, what we really came to talk today about would be liquidity, and it can be confusing. I mean, you started probably around the same time I did, right, House?
Yep.
And
yep.
It was something. It's kind of a struggle to get used to, because some of the videos are horrible. They're horrible.
Oh, they're all, yeah. Some of the videos, they're just you watch it and you come out and you're just more confused than when you started.
What's that one that we always send people to? It's like the first one that comes up, and the dude talks like. Do you ever see Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, where the dude's face melts? He's supposed to be the Japanese Nazi guy. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah.
I know.
He's like, Dr. Jones. That's exactly what that dude in that video sounds like. He's like, Dr. Jones, I'm going to tell you about liquidity. And it's so boring and so dry. And he gets into balancer pools, which are like way up here for people.
Yes.
And fucking degens need like this. I need basics, man. Talk to me about liquidity. Get me to basics. Get me so I can trade. Get me so I can understand. And that's what we're going to do tonight, today, whatever time zone you're in tonight, today.
This morning.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, when I first started, I knew nothing. And by the way, the liquidity we're going to be talking about is the one on DeFi platforms, not CeFi. C5 would probably be a whole nother show, and I would have to do a little more research, wouldn't you? I mean, I'm more of a DeFi degen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But we're going to talk about DeFi liquidity and what it means, and what it means when you actually trade tokens, and what you're doing mechanically when you're trading tokens, just so you understand what's happening in the liquidity pools that you make and how you make them and things like that. But I think probably we'd have to go start where I started, which was a party, of course. And we've partied on a T-share together.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fucking legendary parties on there. I don't know. Harry A. We've been to some parties on the T-share. Oh my God. They're rip-roaring parties. The one I'm thinking of, I think you actually treated me for a VD after this one. You remember? I'm in the office. I'm like, take a look at this, man. Take a look at this. You're like, I never saw anything like that. And you said, I'm going to have to give you a shot. I thought you meant in my private area, but you meant my butt. And I was kind of giving you the Buffalo Bill, like, oh, no, tucking in there. Hard fuck me. Stay away with that needle. But, no, I was at a party on the T-share. And Harry's all happy. I got more liquidity for Tomb. I'm fucking pretty drunk. I turn, I go, dude, what do you mean by liquidity? It was like the needle went off the record in the room, man.
Scream.
Who brought this dude?
Everybody in the room stops, turns around and stares at you.
Oh, yeah, it's almost like you were there.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, I'll show you what liquidity is. So he says, come follow me, brings me up, puts me in one of these little dinghy boats on the side. And I said, okay, what now? Pulls a fucking lever, squash. I'm in the fucking Mediterranean in a dinghy. I mean, I was pissed. I mean, we were all pretty drunk, but I'm floating away with my dumb ass. They're all laughing on the deck. Harry. It was Jane, Jane from the Phantom Foundation. Yep. She's there in a little bikini top. They're doing bongs, beer bongs. Yeah. The funnel thing. Dimitri's there fucking filling them. It was horrible. Dimitri from Just all laughing at me. I'm floating away. So that was my liquidity story. It was me floating in the Mediterranean.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So I was floating away, getting pretty dehydrated, pretty hungry, and luckily I floated up to shore and met a nice young woman who was willing to help me out with my problem, and she explained it all to me. So, helped me with the dehydration.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah, it breastfed me. Back to health. Thanks again, Vic. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you teaching me. But always picking on Vicky. But she put it very clearly, and she used tools, and basically it was screws and nuts. Made it really, really easy. There's another screw and nut story. I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah. But, yeah, screws and nuts. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know where I was going with that.
Yeah.
So, basically, I have some props here, and I will help you.
We're pulling out some props, some visual aids.
Some visual aids. And funny story, I had actual toys ready to do this instead of screws and nuts. And I had a whole thing for the DGen army with toys. And little bastard Bong's nieces and nephews came over, and I don't know where my props are. But here we go. I got them. So, you're a little DGen. And you come onto the Phantom chain. I want to trade. I want to trade. So you come onto the Phantom chain, and you have your tokens. Well, let's pretend your tokens are these 10 screws, right? Like your ETH. Whoa. So he's got the screws that he brings onto the Phantom chain, and he wants to trade them. Or he wants to use them to provide liquidity. So what would he do with these 10 screws to provide liquidity? What do we normally do? We pair them, right?
Yep.
We pair them with something like Phantom. These 10 nuts would be Phantom, right? So he's got, say these are dope tokens, these screws, and these 10 nuts are Phantom.
Yeah.
So he would go to some place like our dexs or Spirit or Spooky, and he would.
I don't know why you'd go anywhere other than Ardex, but yeah.
Of course not. That's where the DGen army's gonna go. Like, let me pair up some dope. But let me see. And you pair them up, right? So you pair them up. You have 10 screws and 10 nuts you're pairing. And basically you got 10 of these bad boys. And it's the liquidity pair you made. You got your, we'll call this your dope token. And we'll call the nut Phantom, right? You made a pair. And what you do is you provide those liquidity pairs, your 10 and 10, to the DEX. Now what you're actually doing, there we go. What you're actually doing is providing a way for someone to trade, okay? Just like Indians traded blankets and whiskey and corn, and that's all we're doing in DeFi. We're trading, right? We're trading one thing for another thing. So when you make a pair for a DEX, you're making it so the DEX can provide liquidity and allow somebody to trade one thing for another. And why do we do that? We do that because the platforms like DGen House will give you platform fees, right? There's a fee involved for the trade, so they will give you a platform fee for providing the liquidity to the DEX. So here's what happens, and it's hard because I should have this on a table, but so here's what happens. Yoda comes up. I want to trade. So he comes up, he wants to trade. And he goes and
these are not the liquidity pairs you're looking for.
Exactly. So he wants to trade. So he goes and he finds the pair that he wants to trade and say it's dope and Phantom. And he has another screw that he wants to trade. So he puts a screw into the pool, or no, let's say he wants to trade Phantom. He puts Phantom into the pool, and he gets dope back. So now what happens to the pool is the pool changes, the ratio changes in the pool. So when he actually put his screw in, which was, when he put his nut in, which was Phantom, and took his screw out, which was dope, he changed the price of the dope token, meaning that now nine dope tokens are worth 11 Phantom instead of 10 being worth 10, which is a 1-to-1 ratio. I don't think I'm explaining this well tonight.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Yeah, I think I smoked too much pot before the fucking show is what it was. But anyway, he's changing the ratio, and that's what causes the price to go up, right? So he took his dope out, he added one nut. So now 9 screws are worth, or 9 dope are worth 11 Phantom, which is more.
Right, and essentially that's what you're doing is providing both of those when you do the liquidity pool, right?
Right, and what happens and how dexs make money, how DGen's going to make money is there's a percentage that's charged for that trade. So normally it's like what 0.25 or 0.3% for the trade.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Yeah, and the the platforms split the fees with the person providing liquidity, and that's why you see some of the farming pair percentages on DEX is going up and down because the token's being more traded or less traded. If the token's not traded that much, you get a shit percent. Right.
And that's essentially why you get such a higher amount of interest, because you're essentially being the bank. That's why it's decentralized. You're essentially
Right.
providing the backing for it. So that's why
Right.
you get more. It's basically what banks have been doing forever, but we're just doing it ourselves and making more money.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and you know it kind of pisses you off because you realize what they've been doing all these years. I
Absolutely.
mean, dude, you go in and you see these places, they're marble palaces, everybody in suits, and you're walking in with your fucking ripped up dungarees going, oh, this place must be doing it. That's your money. They're doing the same fucking thing with your money with other people. You know what I mean? Whether it's forex exchanges or lending it out to you know for mortgages, it's the same concept as the nuts and bolts. It's exactly what the banks are doing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're just essentially taking the power back and doing it in a decentralized fashion. You know.
Yeah, I love it. I don't think I'd ever hold fiat again. Not if I could help it.
No, I don't.
Not if I could. It's painful taking it out, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean that's the basics of providing liquidity and what we're going to be doing at our DEX. And also, we should talk about the size of the liquidity pools. So when you have a small liquidity pool like I had in my hand, the nuts and the bolts, the 10 and the 10.
Right.
When it's a small pool like that and somebody puts a nut in, gets a screw out, it changes the ratio drastically. If you have a huge liquidity pool, say there were 3,000 nuts and 3,000 bolts, and you put a nut in and took a screw out, it wouldn't change it that much. And that's one of the reasons that not it's not a great thing not to change it that much, but it's one of the reasons that you want large liquidity pools, not so tokens don't moon, but so they're not so fragile. You don't need some whale coming in and taking, throwing 15 screws into a small liquidity pool and screwing it up. That's what causes those huge red candles, man. Right? I mean, you've seen it.
Yep.
When a liquidity pool's real small. And also, you get to the point where it says something about the project too. If they don't have a lot of liquidity,
Absolutely.
it means people don't have faith in it. I mean,
yeah, I mean it just adds more stability. That's the big thing. The volatility is not there when you have a large. It's just like if you take a drop of water out of a swimming pool, it's not a big deal. If you take a drop of water out of a thimble, it's much more noticeable.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
LP
LP is very important to a project. If it has very little to no LP, then you really have to examine that closely. Why is that?
It's made me not go in before.
Absolutely.
It's made me not go in before because you're right. Why is that? Why is nobody providing liquidity for this project? Or do they not trust it? Do they not trust the DEX? Is it too new? It's it makes me it gives me pause, House. It really does. But one other thing about liquidity, how it's rewarded. So when you actually go to a DEX and you'll see the rewards, and you'll see when ours opens, you're going to see single dope might get 5 or let's say 25% a day, and an FTM dope LP might get 50% a day, or I'm coming up with ridiculous numbers, but you understand what I mean, double.
Right.
And that's because the devs and the team at the decks realize that they need more liquidity in one spot or another, so they adjust and they move the rewards to get what they need, to make the tokens better, or say they need more liquidity in something like a Tomb FTM LP, and it'll be like, God damn, I need that liquidity. I'm not getting enough trading fees, and everybody else is getting trading fees on Tomb FTM, so they'll pump that up because they want that for their decks.
Yeah, it's essentially you're essentially being rewarded by putting the asset in what's most needed, and then you win and they win.
Yeah, absolutely. Whew, man, what else can we talk about with liquidity?
Well,
keeping it simple.
Yeah, I would save permanent loss for another time then.
Impermanent loss. I don't think that's as big of a deal as people think it is.
I don't know, man. It's so hard for me to I'll get it and I'll conceptualize it, and then I don't know. It's like I lose it sometimes. Like I'm like, wait a second, no, I don't know.
Have you ever had one side of a pair moon that much where it mattered? I mean, I always got scared of it, and then I was like, normally the percentage I'm making on the reward, man, we're getting way far ahead.
Yeah, no, that's why I said maybe next time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we get balls on too, but
yeah, we need to get hit. Well, he'll be the next one to add. It's a work in progress. So.
Yeah, I got to get the freaking I went to move down to the new studio, and didn't have the cabling and all that fun stuff. So I'm in my little ghetto setup again. But let's do something fun. Want to do something fun?
Sure.
Let's see. I wonder. Let's take a look. Who's on? This is unscheduled. Smoke Boss, Tino. You think Chai would want to take a call? You think we could patch Chai through? For old? Chai or old, you want to get on?
Yeah, maybe.
Just to say hi?
Yeah, I think we could do it. You could have him join. I'll send him a link to the Skype, and then I think I can add him.
Old's probably at home going, what?
Wait a second. This is supposed to be you guys' show, huh?
Yeah. Laying in bed. Tino, Dion, James. You trying?
Well, they did they say yes? Did they want to do it? Or let me see.
Fuck them. We're just calling them. We're just fucking calling you guys.
All right, hold on.
James Floyd, Marachi, fucking St. Luke, he's always on. So those stacks that we came up with look pretty good. Our initial liquidity stacks, I thought.
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking Tomb. Who doesn't want Tomb, dude? I mean, in their stack, right? I mean, have you seen how much liquidity that project has, and the trading fees that are involved in that?
Yeah, I mean, I love that project. I love how Harry come in and took it over after that one unfortunate event. Yeah, man, it got waxed, and he came back and saved it. Dude,
one of my buddies, when T-Share was like $70, scooped up a ton. Talk about a set of balls. Scooped up a ton of it. I think he's sitting on $2 million right now.
Oh God, man. Yeah, if you could have got those T-shares, oof.
I mean, that was a ballsy move, though. That was a ballsy move. That was bigger balls than I had. But think we're getting them in?
Well, I gave them a link. They've got to click on it. I can't just drag them in, so I don't know.
There he is.
All right, hold on a second. What? Let me see if I can add him on here. Well, actually, I don't know. We might be able to just.
He's there.
Yeah. Okay.
You there?
Yeah, man. Can you hear me?
Dude,
Yeah.
pay fucking Harry and I back our money, asshole.
Come and get it.
How's it going tonight?
Yeah, not too bad. Nice afternoony. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh man, it does look beautiful. It's so cold where I'm at. I hate the cold.
It's cold where I'm at too.
Yeah, no, I've got the shoes and shorts, thongs off.
Really?
Yeah, got the thongs on. It's beautiful.
What do you have? Do you have Shane tape chained to the laptop?
No, I'm Shane.
Hell, man, I can't tell with your Aussie accents, the two of you. What do you have, old? You have old?
I always have that shit hat on. Yeah, he's inside listening. He's inside listening to the video right now.
Dude, by the way, in America, in the United States, that is Cheyenne every time. Don't you think so?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I get chain, all of it.
Yeah, for the first few weeks, I called you Che.
And finally, Ian one time's like, "Oh, by the way, it's not that hard. It's Shane." Or whatever. I can't even do it.
Oh, he gets a bit jealous that you're calling me the wrong name, I think.
He knows you love me more, dude. He knows you love me more.
Well, Donkey just
I
doesn't
love you all the same. I love you all the same.
He doesn't have his glasses on. He's supposed to be wearing glasses, but he doesn't do it because he wants to look cool.
Oh, dude, I do look cool. Look at me, man.
Yes.
Fucking 8-powered stern, buddy.
I liked your liquidity talk.
Yeah, you nuts and bolts. You were probably jerking off while I was talking about it.
Oh, yeah, I was sitting there trying to add some liquidity.
He's trying to add a nut.
No, thank you.
I find that the best time is after those dumps. Add a little bit of liquidity in, and you get that rise, and everything else pulls up with it.
You all right, House?
Oh, I gotta open a drink for that.
I gotta tell you guys, I'm having a blast with this one. But do you want to give anybody? You want to give us a brief update of where we're at here?
Yeah, so I've got farms in testing. And I've got liquidity in 2 different swaps that I've created in the last week. Yeah. Just to get the best one we can have. Just trying a couple of different front ends with the liquidity and the factory router address I already have. And just seeing which one's going to look best, which one's going to work best. And just see what we can do from there. The hardest part is getting the debug. So I've got the solidity contracts right. Mm-hmm. It's just when we can add liquidity, we can remove some liquidity. Some liquidity gets halted at the moment, but that's just a couple of debugs on the front end, just to change all that code over to ours.
These fucking apes have like a ton of dope in their wallets now. They're dying to throw it in there, just like I am.
We'll get them in there real soon.
Oh yeah, it's just right around the corner. We know that you guys want to have it, 100% right. So, that's one of the most important aspects. So we're patient, but we're just all excited,
Oh, absolutely, dude! You guys are doing a great job.
I'm super excited about what we're doing so far. I just want to be able to have a day off.
I imagine so.
He locks me in every day for about 18 hours. The bugger.
Really?
Yeah, man, you're right. Yeah, from about 9 o'clock in the morning till about 1 in the morning sometimes.
No wonder you're making liquidity in there on your own.
I'm like, if you go home, I can code faster.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Tell him to drop a rat off with you once in a while. Come on, man.
What?
The rat.
The rat? Oh, you want the rat to come over?
Nobody knows what we're talking about, dude.
Well, I'll tell you what. The rat said she wants to use one of her beautiful photos for one of our DGen things. So if you're lucky, you might get a bit.
I'm in. You know I'm a fucking horn dog.
No.
We might have to go to Just for that one.
What's this?
We might have to go to Just for that one.
Yeah.
Hey, Dimitri, we need this NFT done for us. Hey, Shane, do you think we covered liquidity in a pretty simple fashion for the degens? I mean,
I think you did with when you said about the price impact and the like the splash compared to the 3,000 bolts when it wouldn't make too much of a splash.
Yeah.
So I think that's what nailed it. Like at the first, I was thinking, is he going to be able to get this with nuts and bolts?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then when it was like a whole heap of nuts and bolts, you got the 3,000 there. Doesn't drop one little nut off. You might have a little bit of imbalance, a little bit of impermanent loss, but I mean, I don't mind impermanent loss. You can make money from impermanent loss in some ways.
Yeah, especially if the native token's holding up. You know, your reward token, and I think. I really, I sound like a shiller here. I really think you guys nailed the burn on this thing.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yep. I do. I think the tokenomics look spectacular. I think they're going to work well.
Yeah, we filled about 4 or 5 notepads just to get it right with my big text scribbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen your notepads.
Oh, I love your notepads. I love the scribbles and the pictures.
I've got a texter collection you wouldn't believe.
It actually took me a little bit of time to figure out why you guys were using the trips token as the token, and then I realized when it went in the auto compounder, it wasn't going to crush the price of dope. You know what I mean?
Not at all. The whole idea is to be able to spend your trips, to either hold your trips to buy more dope, to spend your trips to be able to add liquidity on other like coins that we have there. So you could have your blow token, your trip token, or your dope token, and you'll be getting rewards just by holding them in your liquidity.
Good. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's really cool, and I really like the early NFTs too. And
that first one made me laugh so much. I mean, we've got it. We've got it. That's good. Yeah, we're going to do one for the trips as well.
So explain that to me. What's your idea about the And man, I really hate putting you on the spot.
I'm like a salesman. I could talk underwater.
So when we guy, so when we have that initial NFT, we're going to use that to farm for more trips rewards.
Okay, so at the moment we've got 300 initial NFTs, which is the early adopters.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that are for sale. They'll give you access to the party bags moving forward.
Okay.
And
so just don't show up. You have to spend a little bit to get the party bags. And what was it? It was 42 FTM.
We might have lost him. He's frozen.
He might just be done with us. He's like, "Fuck this! I didn't expect this call."
He's like, they're asking too many questions. I'm losing you. Oh, he said the phone died.
No, that's cool. That's cool. But no, I don't think 42 FTM is a lot to take part in dope parties. To be honest, not with FTM the way it is right now.
No, it's not. I mean, the thing is, these FTMs are going to be pretty unique because they actually serve a purpose, So the thing is, if you can get them, you need to get them because in the future that might mean more rewards, a higher percentage. We don't know, but we know that we're going to implement them that way, right? So they're not just a haha, look, I've got a cool NFT. They're going to serve a purpose.
Yeah, dude, I was not an NFT guy before this project. I'll be honest, I wasn't. I was like, nah, dude, I don't need a JPEG.
Yeah.
But
well, we're both old. I was like, I don't get it, but now I get it because it's kind of like, it's like a ticket to ride.
Exactly. Man, I need a beer.
That's what I had to roll back in my chair and get one. So
I saw you go like this.
Yeah.
It's like, is he providing liquidity? But I think that's pretty much it for this one, man.
Yeah.
Unless you have something else to add, brother.
No, I think for the second time, adding a couple new factors and explaining what we did, I think we pretty much nailed it on the head.
I think so too. Fucking dude, the Telegram was going crazy. Sprocket, Shaw, Harriet. Is Vicky never awake for these?
She'll have to watch the recording. Hopefully, I can manage that. So,
Maybe I should stop by with a CD for her. I don't know.
yeah, you probably should. It's better a DVD. That's class. It's like a
Watching
box
it,
of chocolates.
watching it with a friend.
Yeah, I mean, totally.
I could explain liquidity to her.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, she might be a hands-on kind of learner. She might need to really put the hands on the nuts and bolts to get the idea of what you meant.
Have you seen my face though? This isn't going to work out for me.
Oh, well, I make paper bags for a reason.
So let's
All right.
sign off from this one, man. Hey, fucking D-Gens, you guys are doing a great job. I love the fucking spirit in the room. I know House does too. And man, keep D-Genning. We're gonna do these twice a week, starting soon, and it's not gonna be this half-ass 15 minutes late bullshit, 20 minutes late. We're gonna make it right. We're gonna get our shit together.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
signing off. We'll see you next time.